Hello, I'm really excited about making this video, but I'm also a little nervous because I have to do it in one take, and in a little while you'll see why. I'm talking about brass instruments and how we play them. Normally, a brass instrument is made out of a metal tube that's made out of brass and will have a steel mouthpiece that's carefully shaped into a little cup or bowl for you to buzz your lips into. All brass instruments are made by buzzing your lips, kind of like this. Depending on how big the instrument is, you might even get away with a little bit of a sound. The higher the sound is, the tighter your lips have to be as you press them together. I'm a string player, not a brass player, so this is going to be interesting. Now, a nickname that a lot of people use for brass instruments is horn. And that's because originally they were made out of animal horn. They might be made out of cow horn or ram's horn, or is the most commons. This is a cow horn. It is hollow. It has the very tip of it cut off. There is no metal bowl. So to make sound out of this, I have to put my lips up to the hole and buzz my lips. So let's see how well I can do. Not too well. Try how to do this nice and wet. There we go. Takes a little bit of practicing. You got to learn how to hold your mouth just right. When you have a mouthpiece, it works better. But even without a mouthpiece and just a hole, a little bit of practice finding just where to put your lips, you can make sound. Now, you can find these things obviously on the internet, but also like at Renaissance fairs and Celtic festivals and such. And we can also make our own, and that's what I wanted to show us today. So this is a piece of plumbing pipe. I use this for various hobbies and crafts. This one is normally used to prop open a window. It's 2 feet long and they cost about $2 or $3 for this little stick. This is 1/2 inch, and the most important part is this is clean. This hasn't been used for plumbing. This hasn't been used for water. This is just a clean piece of pipe. And if I take my lips up to the end and buzz, it will give you that brass instrument horn sound. It sounds a little bit different from this because of the materials it's made out of and the length of it and how thin it is. This one stays thin the whole length, which is why it's so much quieter than this, which starts out thin but gets much wider. Now, you can find this at Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store. This is a 10-foot piece of water tubing. And I can do the same thing with this, and it should make sound. It has little bends in it that I'm going to try to get out real quick. Now this is not very thick, but it is very long. So even though it's very small or round, I'm betting that this will have a fairly high-pitched sound when I buzz my lips into it. A very low sound, I mean. There you might have heard the sound. So here is why I can only do this once. I'm going to take a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut off about 3 feet of this. Remember, when you're cutting something, you can always cut it shorter, but you can't cut it longer. So now I have this really short piece. It's about 3 feet long. I have a longer piece. It's about 6 or 7 feet long. Let's hear the 3-foot piece. And now let's hear the really long piece. That sounds a lot different, doesn't it? Now, if I take the really short piece and I cut it even shorter, very careful not to cut my fingers, and now I have a piece that is about 1.5 feet long. Remember, bigger things, bigger or round or longer, make lower sounds. Thinner things and shorter things make higher sounds. This should sound much higher. And what's really interesting is that whenever it gets smaller, I have to change how I hold my lips to make it buzz a lot tighter. So you can make your own brass instrument using a piece of, this is called PVC pipe. This is a 1/2 inch thick. You could also use maybe a 3/4 inch, but you probably wouldn't want to go bigger than that. And this here is 3/4 inch wide and 5/8 inch inside. So that would be about the right size. You might go a little bit smaller, a little bit longer, if you want to try to make these yourself. If you do, maybe you can share with your friends and family how it sounds, but you do not share the instrument because you are putting your own lips on them. Have fun.